Your employees or independent contractor expenses are likely to be one of your highest expenses in your business. And as a smart business owner, you want to make sure that you're monitoring these expenses to ensure maximum efficiency. Over the last few years, your business may have had to need to shift to a more remote or a virtual workforce. Many business owners think that this shift to a remote workforce or team causes less productivity and higher expenses. But in fact, many business owners will see the exact opposite. Depending on your situation, you may have seen a savings or some additional expenses that you've needed to adjust to. In today's podcast episode, I'm helping you create a cost-effective virtual workforce or team. I'm sharing a few of the most important skills that you need as a business owner, as well as areas to be aware of to ensure that you're maximizing your virtual workspace while keeping your costs down and the productivity up. Whether you already have a virtual workforce or maybe you currently do all the work in your business yourself, but you've been wanting to integrate some additional help, you'll want to make sure that you take advantage of these tips. Hiring remote workers, independent contractors, and virtual assistants could be the lifeline that you need to continue meeting all of the demands of your business. It doesn't matter if you're just getting started with your business, you're a self-employed individual, a solopreneur, entrepreneur, small business owner, bookkeeper, or virtual assistant. You need to keep a close eye on these expenses and ensure that you're being as efficient as possible so that you are able to move your business forward, remain successful, and maximize your profits. You're listening to the Mastering Your Small Business Finances podcast, where we get straight to the point on topics that ultimately affect your bottom line. That's right, as an entrepreneur with a small business, money management, growth, marketing, they all affect your bottom line. I'm your host, Chris Ponick. I'm a certified public accountant, and I've been helping small business owners like you navigate and easily understand these complicated topics for over 25 years. I'm a wife, a mom, a grandmother, and a small business owner myself, so I know your time is valuable. In my free time, I make the best sugar cookies and have mastered an amazing chocolate chip cookie recipe. And that's not just my opinion. You're in the right place. I promise your time will be well spent here. Each week, you'll gain confidence and clarity while making a successful impact on your business and grow your bottom line. Get comfy, grab a cookie, and let's get straight to the point with this week's episode. Welcome back. When you look over your income statement, do you draw your attention to the largest expenses first? When you do this, you're probably seeing wages, subcontractors, or independent contractors as one of the largest expenses, especially if you've made the move as a business owner from doing all of the work in your business by yourself to having additional help. Making sure that you're managing your largest expenses efficiently is important when you're trying to increase your profit. Over the last few years, there was a shift to a more remote or virtual workforce. Many business owners felt like they lost control of their workforce, but others found that this remote workforce produced a higher performance rate, and some even found some of their higher expenses were reduced. If you're wondering what you could be doing to take advantage of these positive results, I want you to make sure that you are following the tips I'm going to cover today. Whenever you have a virtual workforce, whether it's made up of your employees, a virtual assistant, an independent contractor, or a subcontractor, you want to make sure that you set your expectations in your relationship early. Having a mutual understanding about responsibilities, how often work should be performed, during which hours of the day work should be done, and your desired outcomes, deadlines, or when the work should be completed is going to be essential for everyone to know. Making sure that you have a flexible work arrangement will be beneficial when you know that you will not be able to control the environment remotely. I want you to focus on your workforce's abilities and when they are the most productive. In most cases, it won't matter if the work gets done early in the morning or late in the evening, as long as the work is done in time to meet any deadlines and it's done accurately. Remember, you're focused on the outcome. Set clear expectations for the team and ask for feedback so that you know that your team is able to meet these expectations. Communication is key, so you will want to connect regularly with your virtual workforce or team. Make sure that everyone is aware of any changes in deadlines or updates on projects. There are many ways that you can stay in touch with your remote workforce or team so that you know exactly how the work is getting done. This doesn't mean that you should micromanage your workforce, but rather have a procedure in place so that you know how projects are moving along. You can accomplish this with meetings, project management software, or even daily updates if you'd like, but make sure that you provide the training and resources that your team needs to follow through on these expectations. There are many different technology options available, but you want to take note on how much time it's taking to connect or to stay up to date. Take time to set protocols for regular updates and what to do if there's something that needs to be communicated urgently. You want to make this process as efficient as possible while keeping everybody informed of the progress. You'll also want to make sure that you're listening to the advice from your team as well. Let them know that you're open to receiving information from them and that you genuinely want to hear from them. They may be able to offer insight or concerns for a project that you would have never even thought about. This information can be very valuable. If your workforce or team doesn't seem to offer this information on their own, you can always ask them for their opinion to see if there's a more efficient way for you to help them. If you're an accountant or high-stress professional, you want to start enjoying your life more, both at work and at home. You've likely built a successful career, but at what cost? The problem is, you're so buried in deadlines and to-do lists that there's no time or energy left for the things that really matter. You're great at managing clients, deadlines, and numbers, but your own stress, time, and well-being? Well, they always seem to come last. The constant pressure leads to burnout, guilt, and feeling like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. I see this all the time. As a CPA with over 20 years of experience and a certified coach, I've helped high-achieving professionals, just like you, go from stress and burnout to a more integrated and balanced lifestyle using the reinvention process. This process helps you reduce stress, reclaim your time, and finally build a healthier, happier, and more balanced lifestyle without sacrificing your success. The truth is, stress doesn't go away on its own, and eventually the cost isn't just exhaustion. It's your health, your relationships, and your love for the work you once enjoyed. If you're ready to build a life that you don't need a vacation from, it's easy to get started. First, schedule your complimentary stress audit and clarity session, where in just one session, I'll help you pinpoint what's really draining your time and energy. Create a personalized action plan to help you simplify your life, reclaim your time, and increase your productivity so that you start living with more energy, focus, and freedom. You don't have to keep doing this alone. I can help you customize a plan to stop the overwhelm and start enjoying your life again. Go to financialadventure.com, click on the Work With Me button, and book your free session today. Let this be the moment that you stop just surviving and start living with more control and finally enjoy a more integrated and balanced lifestyle again. In the meantime, check out all the other resources and solutions on my website that you can immediately apply to your life so that you can stop being stressed out and feeling like you're never doing enough, and instead breathe a sigh of relief at the end of the day knowing you've accomplished enough and can enjoy your life more. Collaboration and connection are equally important when you have a virtual workforce. Having a way for people to connect will help bring about innovative ideas as well as foster a team environment. When people are working remotely, they can easily feel isolated from the rest of the team. Allowing virtual coffee chats or a virtual water cooler where team members can get together and connect in a less formal environment will help build camaraderie, which in turn increases productivity. You could even host a virtual happy hour for your team to help them to get to know each other. This is a terrific way to host a get-together, especially if your workforce is in various locations and it's not quite feasible to get together locally. These virtual events are a perfect time for you to announce any successes or milestones that the team has achieved. It's important to celebrate the wins in your business, even if they're small. Make sure that you as a business owner show up for these events as well and maintain a positive outcome when creating these connections. If you feel like your team can't take on any additional meetings, try to schedule a few minutes on an already scheduled meeting to allow for these connections. They are important and they should not be overlooked. Next, let's look at how having a virtual workforce or team can save you money or how you can be more efficient with your costs. We'll start off with time. Time is something that we all cherish, right? Whether you're the business owner or part of the team. Working as a virtual team is beneficial for both parties. Team members can gain additional time that they would normally be commuting, and they can put that extra time towards something that they would much rather have in their life. And business owners have the ability to have additional talent in their business without having the stress and complications of having to hire an employee on site. You may also notice that productivity goes up since there are fewer interruptions than were taking place in an office setting. Time normally equals money. By utilizing a remote workforce or team in your business, you're able to streamline many of the procedures and expenses that you would normally have and only pay for the ones that you have direct needs for. The overhead in your business can also be significantly reduced since you may no longer need to have an office space for a larger team, which means less rent, utility expenses, cleaning, and office expenses. Even retention rates of your team members may be improved, which also saves you time and money by searching for another replacement. Team members who are working from home or remotely tend to enjoy and value their work-life balance much more, which gives you a happier and higher retention rate. Take some time to look over your income statement and focus on your expenses. Be creative when you're looking at the expenses that you currently have for your business, and look for ways that you can reduce or even eliminate specific expenses when you have a virtual workforce. Having a remote workforce or team can be a cost-effective way to manage some of your highest expenses while keeping productivity rates high. If you're a service-based business owner who wants to increase the profit in your business, let me know. I've helped many business owners over the past 20 years, and I'm here to help you with mastering your small business finances as well. Your business finances are impacted by much more than just your bookkeeping and financial knowledge. And you know I'm going to ask, what's at least one thing that you'll take away from this episode that will help your business succeed and grow your bottom line? If you need some accountability, join our private Facebook community and post your action item. We'd love to support you. Thanks for taking the time to tune into this episode of Mastering Your Small Business Finances. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it for you, I'd love for you to give it a 5-star rating and subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Visit financialadventure.com for the show notes, links from this episode, and while you're there, leave a comment if you have a topic you're interested in learning more about that affects your bottom line. If you're looking for a community where you can ask questions and get feedback about your small business, join my private Facebook group. You can find the links to this group and more on financialadventure.com. And remember, any financial information shared on this podcast is not to be considered professional, financial, or tax advice and should not be solely relied upon. Please consult your CPA or tax advisor for an opinion on your specific circumstances. I'm looking forward to having you tune in next time. Until then, dream big, follow your heart, and love what you do.